It's a quiet spring evening on the North Atlantic. The waters off the west coast of Scotland lie still, cold, gray, and vast. Above the surface, the sky is streaked with thin clouds, and the faint lights of distant trawlers shimmer across the horizon. Beneath these calm waters, unseen by anyone on land, a Royal Navy submarine prepares to begin a routine training mission, one that will soon become one of the most haunting mysteries in modern naval history. This is the story of HMS Valiant. On the morning of March 12, 1998, HMS Valiant, a nuclear-powered fleet submarine, leaves Her Majesty's Naval Base Clyde, better known as Foz Lane. She's 85 meters long, crewed by 118 men and women, and carries one of the most experienced command teams in the Royal Navy. For most of the crew, it's a familiar assignment, a week-long navigation and systems exercise within the deep training zones west of the Hebrides. For four of the officers on board, however, this mission will be their final assessment before qualifying for independent submarine command. It's a proud but nerve-wracking moment, the culmination of months of study, sleepless nights, and simulated emergencies. At 9:45, the Valiant slips her moorings and heads out through the Firth of Clyde, her massive black hull cutting silently through the water. Above deck, crewmen wave to families on shore. Below deck, the engine room hums with energy. And as the submarine passes the Isle of Arran, she disappears beneath the surface, swallowed by the sea. On the morning of March 12, 1998, HMS Valiant, a nuclear-powered fleet submarine, leaves Her Majesty's Naval Base Clyde, better known as Foz Lane. She's 85 meters long, crewed by 118 men and women, and carries one of the most experienced command teams in the Royal Navy. For most of the crew, it's a familiar assignment, a week-long navigation and systems exercise within the deep training zones west of the Hebrides. For four of the officers on board, however, this mission will be their final assessment before qualifying for independent submarine command. It's a proud but nerve-wracking moment, the culmination of months of study, sleepless nights, and simulated emergencies. At 9:45, the Valiant slips her moorings and heads out through the Firth of Clyde, her massive black hull cutting silently through the water. Above deck, crewmen wave to families on shore. Below deck, the engine room hums with energy. And as the submarine passes the Isle of Arran, she disappears beneath the surface, swallowed by the sea. By late afternoon, Valiant reaches her assigned area, a section of deep water known as Operation Zone Charlie. It's here that the training begins. The crew simulates silent running, evasion from surface patrols, and precise sonar tracking drills. For most, it's routine. But for one officer, Lieutenant Commander James Harker, it's a final test of nerve and skill. Harker, 38 years old, has served on submarines for over a decade. Quiet, analytical, and steady under pressure, he's respected by his peers and trusted by his superiors. But as the exercises progress, something about Valiant's sonar readings begins to trouble him. At 22:30 that night, the sonar team picks up a faint but persistent contact. It's small, possibly a trawler, moving slowly across Valiant's projected path. Normally, such encounters are routine. Submarines track and avoid fishing boats all the time. But this one behaves differently. It drifts, stalls, then accelerates, its signal flickering irregularly on the display. The duty sonar operator glances up, frowning. Possible interference, he says. But Harker isn't convinced. He leans over the display, listening through the headset. There it is again, a rhythmic tapping. Not propeller noise, not machinery, something else. He marks the contact as Echo 4 and requests a depth change. The captain approves. Valiant descends from 60 meters to 90. As the submarine adjusts, the signal vanishes. For now. By midnight, a low-pressure front sweeps over the Hebrides. Winds rise to 25 knots, and waves crest violently across the surface. To the world above, it's just another rough night in the North Atlantic. But below the storm, HMS Valiant continues her silent mission. Inside the control room, the lights are dimmed. The air is warm, heavy with the hum of machinery. The trainees are instructed to navigate a simulated evasion, avoid detection from a surface frigate, HMS Somerset, while maintaining a precise course through the deep water channel. It's a tense but controlled drill until 0:47 hours when the sonar operator suddenly stiffens. New contact, he reports, bearing 032 degrees. Close, very close. The signal is faint, but growing stronger. The captain orders, hold depth, maintain course. Moments later, the sound changes. A metallic scrape, then a heavy thud. The crew freeze. Possible cable strike, someone shouts. The submarine shudders violently. Lights flicker. An alarm sounds across the compartment. Hull contact, port side. In seconds, chaos erupts. The control room erupts with overlapping voices. Flooding in compartment 4. Emergency blow. Emergency blow. The submarine pitches downward. Inside, equipment breaks loose, and crew are thrown against the bulkheads. The ballast tanks fire, forcing compressed air to the surface. But something's wrong. The ascent is uneven. A trailing wire or net has tangled around the aft hydroplanes. The Valiant is trapped. At 1:02 hours, the vessel comes to rest. On the seabed, 270 meters down, the noise fades. Only the hum of emergency power remains. In the silence, the crew begin damage control. Above the surface, HMS Somerset completes her patrol unaware of the accident. She attempts radio contact with Valiant at 1:30. No response. Assuming a communications drill, she continues north. Back at Foslane, routine status reports from Valiant are now overdue. A silent clock begins to tick. At 4:10, a search alert is issued. By dawn, multiple Royal Navy ships and maritime patrol aircraft are deployed to the last known coordinates. No signal, no debris, just miles of empty, restless sea. For 14 hours, Valiant's crew fight to survive. Power is limited. Carbon dioxide levels rise. Condensation drips from every surface. In the control room, Harker and the captain evaluate the situation in near darkness. They estimate oxygen will last another 8 hours, maybe less. Through the hull, faint creaks echo. Every sound feels amplified. Every vibration a reminder of how fragile their world has become. At 13:26 hours, the sonar operator reports a faint ping, a rescue beacon from the surface. Cheers ripple through the compartment. They flash their own emergency transponder, but the signal doesn't transmit. The antenna is damaged. The beacon fades, and hope fades with it. 2 days later, a remotely operated vehicle deployed from the research vessel Endeavour detects an anomaly on the seabed. A long, dark shape resting in silt. It's HMS Valiant. The hull appears intact. The escape hatch sealed. No signs of implosion. No explosion. Just stillness. Divers are dispatched to confirm. When the hatch is opened, cold air rushes out, and inside, they find what they feared. All 118 crew members are dead. The official investigation lasts nearly a year. No mechanical failure is found. No reactor breach. Instead, evidence points to a tethered sonar array from the surface vessel Somerset, the very ship Valiant was training against. The cable had dropped lower than intended, snagging the submarine during its ascent, disabling its hydroplanes and trapping it below. Communication errors and delayed reporting turned a survivable emergency into a fatal silence. In the years that followed, the Royal Navy revised its training protocols. All future submarine exercises require surface escort vessels to monitor sonar depths, And every sub now carries multiple emergency locator buoys, capable of transmitting even under severe hull damage. But for the families of HMS Valiant, the reforms brought little comfort. On the cliffs above Foz Lane, a granite monument was raised. It bears 118 names, engraved side by side, each representing a life lived in service and lost in silence. Today, fishermen still cast their nets over the same waters. They speak of the currents that shift without warning, and of a place where the sea feels colder than the rest. Beneath those gray waves, the Valiant rests, silent, whole, and eternal, a monument not of stone, but of steel and memory, to remind us that even the calmest seas can hide the darkest depths